Hi, I'm Tasha, 34-year-old woman. My entire life was thrown upside down when I found out that my husband of 10 years was cheating on me. And what got me at that time was how I found out about his affair through my 7-year-old daughter. Let me start from the beginning. I met my now ex-husband, Nash, through some mutual friends at college. We got along really well, and the more we hung out, the more we developed feelings for each other. We started dating about 10 months after we met and dated for about 4 years before deciding to get married. By then, we had moved in together, worked hard on our careers, and were loved by each other's families. At least that's what I thought. My family adored Nash. They thought that he brought out my best side, and to date, I agree with them. However, Nash's family was the one that ended up deceiving me. Nash's dad passed away when he was really young, so it was always him, his older sister, and his mom. His sister Nia and I got along great. We quickly became best friends after we first met each other. Nash's mom, Rosie, and I also got along really well. She would always talk about how I was perfect for Nash and how beautiful I was. At that time, it felt amazing to feel so accepted. After Nash and I got married, we decided to wait for a few years before starting a family. Over the next 3 years, we worked hard and climbed the corporate ladder, which allowed us to earn more and save a lot more than we thought we'd have been able to. The first thing we did was purchase a house. A few months after we purchased the house, I unexpectedly fell pregnant with my daughter Paisley. Paisley quickly became the center of Nash's and my life. We raised her as best we could and did our best to make sure that she was always happy. Nash was a great dad, and he still is, which is the only reason he's still a part of my life. But more on that later. Anyway, when Paisley was 6, Nash told me that his job was offering a huge promotion for which he'd have to start traveling a lot more. I was initially not so happy with that because I needed Nash to help me out with taking care of Paisley. I was working too, but after we gave it a lot of thought, we decided that he should work towards the promotion. I figured that I would be able to handle a little more responsibility if that meant that Paisley would have a more secure future. For the next year, Nash ended up traveling a lot more than I expected, and while it was hard, we managed. Paisley was not too happy about her dad traveling so much, so Nash would take her out on daddy-daughter dates after he came back. And when Nash was away, Rosie or Nia would come over to take Paisley out with them. We all made sure to do our best to not let Paisley feel the absence of her dad. Anyway, this story begins with one particular day when Nash came back home from work to tell me that he was going away on a trip. He had gone on a trip just a week ago, and I wasn't too happy about it. "I'm back home, honey." "Welcome back. How was work?" "Don't even get me started. I just want to take a nice hot bath and then cuddle in bed with my 2 favorite girls." "Oh, Paisley's doing her homework right now, so go get your shower done as quickly as possible." "Yeah, I'll do that. But before that, I have some bad news." "You have to leave again? At this point, you're making trips to us and not the other way around." "I know, and I'm really sorry about it." "You better be, because it feels like we're your other family and you're rushing to go back to your real wife." "Excuse me?" "I'm just saying. It's crazy how much you travel. You better get a raise soon. Paisley and I miss you like crazy." "You want me to get a raise so I can feed my other family too, right?" "Wait, are you really upset with my other family comment? You know I was joking, right? Were you? Or were you being serious? Do you actually think that I'm cheating on you?" "I don't. I have no reason to think that. I was just making a stupid joke. I'm sorry." "Look, if you think I'm being unfaithful, just tell me. I don't like people being passive-aggressive. You know this." Baby, I swear I did not mean it in any other way than a joke. Why are you getting so worked up about this? Now you're making me think that you're hiding something. No, I'm not hiding anything. God. Okay, you either calm down and talk to me properly or you're sleeping in the guest bedroom. I'm sorry. I'm just really tired from work and I don't enjoy traveling so much either. I'm sorry I overreacted. I guess I feel really guilty about how much of Paisley's life I'm missing and how much time we haven't been able to spend with each other, and it's coming out in ugly ways. I'm sorry I got mad. Hey, it's okay. I know that this is hard for you, but on the brighter side, all your hard work will ensure that our child has a bright future ahead. When she becomes a little older, we'll have a lot of time to spend then. Yeah, but what if I'll be traveling for work even then? Well, then we either find you a new job or we'll get used to it. We're a strong couple, and distance every few weeks is not going to change that. Besides, you make up for it by being the best father and husband while you're here. Stop it. Okay, I'll go take a shower now. Also, my mom invited us to dinner at her place this weekend. I'll be leaving on Sunday, so we'll have dinner with Mom on Saturday. Okay. It was not the first time that I'd gotten upset with Nash for leaving for a trip, quickly after he'd just come back from another trip, and tried to play off with the joke, but it was the first time that Nash got so defensive about my jokes. I'll be honest, it set off some alarm bells in my head. I felt like there was something deeper at hand that Nash wasn't telling me about, but I didn't question him about it because I didn't want him to get mad again. I was a little uneasy after that conversation, like my gut wasn't letting go of the fact that something was wrong, but I tried my best to ignore that. But that feeling only got worse after dinner with Rosie, when Nash, Paisley and I went over and Rosie greeted us warmly. Come in. Hi, Paisley. How are you doing? I'm so hungry, Grandma. We'll fix that right now. Go in and wash your hands. It smells heavenly in here, Mom. I wish I could just stay here with this smell forever. That would be impossible because you'd have to travel for work the next day. Hey. I can't believe you're traveling again. Is that why you asked me to have dinner today instead of tomorrow? Yeah, look, I'm only doing this to get my promotion. Is the promotion really worth spending less time with your family? Mom, can we please not do this? I feel bad enough as it is. Hey, where's Nia? Is she not coming? Oh, about that. Nia and I kind of got into a huge fight. Oh no, what happened? Nia was struggling and she came to me about her problem. I may have been a little rude to her, but that did not mean that she had to be so disrespectful towards me. I lost my temper. We screamed at each other and now we're not talking to each other. That's sad. Is Nia all right though? What was she struggling with? Why do you want to know? Oh, I didn't mean to be intrusive or anything. I just want to make sure that Nia's doing fine. Well, I know about what happened. I don't think it's something she'd want to tell anyone out of her family. But I'm in her family too. Sure, but I mean real blood family. She's fine, but you should know that she was extremely mean to Mom, so I've stopped talking to her too. How come you never told me about this? When did this happen? Well, it happened 2 days ago and I've been getting home late from work, so I never had the chance to tell you. Now, why don't you just drop the subject? This is supposed to be a fun dinner. Nash and Rosie, being defensive about Nia's sudden decision to cut them off, made me feel only more suspicious that something was wrong. After that dinner, for the next few weeks, I did my best to contact Nia. Initially, she ignored me, but one day she finally texted me and told me that she was done with her family and asked me not to contact her either. It stung to have her say that because I actually considered her my close friend. I didn't understand why I had to be cut off because of her fight with her mother, but I made peace with it, eventually. For the next year, things remained the same. Nash traveled a lot. Paisley grew up. Rosie helped me with Paisley from time to time, and I was busy working and taking care of Paisley. One day, Rosie came over and asked to take Paisley out for ice cream. I wasn't too keen on letting Paisley go because she had to study, but Rosie insisted and promised me that they'd be back in an hour, so I agreed. Just as she promised, the two of them were back in an hour, and I greeted them at the door. "Welcome back. Did you two enjoy your ice cream?" "Oh, we sure did, didn't we, Paisley?" "Yes, Grandma bought me chocolate ice cream and 2 scoops of it." "Really? Will you be able to eat dinner now?" "Maybe." "I'm sure she will. She promised me she would eat dinner." "Yes, I know. I'll eat dinner, Mommy." That's my girl. "Okay, well, I need to get going now. I'll see you guys in a few days, yeah?" "Yes, thank you so much for taking Paisley out. I love spending time with my granddaughter, so don't thank me. Bye." "Let's go in, sweetie." "What's wrong? Why are you crying?" "Mommy, I want to play more with my big sister." "Big sister? What do you mean, sweetie? You have no big sister." "Yes, I do. Daddy always brings her over when I'm with Grandma." "What? Are you sure about this, sweetie?" "Yes, even now she was there when I was with Grandma. She's so nice, and she always buys me candy. I want to go back, please." "Sweetie, you can't go right now, but maybe you could go tomorrow. Do you promise?" "Well, I have to talk to Daddy about this, but I will tell you tomorrow. Could you tell me a little more about this big sister of yours?" "Of course. She's very pretty, but not as pretty as you, Mommy. She smells really nice and she loves Daddy just as much as me." "Oh, really? How old is your big sister?" "Grandma said that she was 24 years old. That's really old, right? I thought being 24 years old would make you have gray hair, but my big sister looks beautiful and has no gray hair." "That's nice to hear. When did you meet your big sister?" "I met her, oh yeah, after Daddy's birthday. I remember because he told me it was his birthday and he wanted to introduce me to my big sister, but it was Daddy's birthday last year. Yeah, that was when I met her first time." "I see. Well, I want you to do me a small favor, sweetie. Can you do that for me?" "Of course." "I want you to not tell anyone that you told Mommy about your big sister, okay?" "But why?" "Because I want to do something nice for Daddy and I want to invite your big sister to it." "Okay, I won't tell anyone." That's my girl. Now, let's get you clean and ready for dinner. I tried my best to remain calm in front of Paisley, but it was hard considering I just found out that Nash was most definitely cheating on me. Not only was he cheating on me, but he was cheating on me with a woman who was 10 years younger than me, and he'd introduced her to Paisley. I don't remember what exactly happened the rest of the evening because everything felt hazy to me. I felt like my whole world was crashing, but I had nowhere to go and nobody to talk to about it. I had to stay strong for Paisley, but I needed to get answers. Were all of Nash's trips just excuses to cheat on me? Was the reason for Nash's excessive defensiveness when I joked about him cheating because he knew then that he was actually doing that and was worried that I'd find out? Who was he cheating with? And why did Rosie know that he was cheating? And why was she okay with it? That whole night, my head was swirling with question after question, and I couldn't seem to make heads or tails of the situation. Finally, there was one question that came to mind which made me realize that I had one person to get all my answers. Did Nia's sudden distance from the family have anything to do with Nash's cheating? I had to find out the answer, so the next day I spammed her phone with a lot of calls until she finally picked up, and I tried my best to play it cool. "Hey." "Oh, hey, Tasha. How's everything going?" "It's not going so well. I'm actually calling you to confirm something." "Oh, what is it?" "You suddenly cut off contact with us last year. Why is that?" "I found out things about Nash that I wasn't happy about. I didn't want to be associated with him, so I removed myself from the situation. Is that thing an affair? How did you find out? Well, apparently he introduced his affair partner to Paisley as her big sister. I had an inkling, but I just needed confirmation. He did that? I'm not surprised that he did that. When he first brought that girl home, I was beyond shocked. I tried to tell him that what he was doing was wrong. He told me to stay out of his business. Trust me, I tried to do my best to get him to stop. I don't mean to be rude, but why didn't you tell me about it? Why did you keep it a secret for so long? I wanted to tell you, but the job I have is thanks to Nash's recommendation and because my boss is his friend. I threatened him that I would tell you, but he told me that he would tell his friend to fire me. And I had too many bills to pay, so I couldn't lose my job. I'm so sorry that I didn't tell you. It's okay. I'm not surprised that Nash threatened you, but why is Rosie involved in this? I thought she loved me. Why is she okay with this? Well, she's never been the biggest fan of you. One thing about my mother is that she is a very good actor. She always pretended that she loved you, but behind your back, she always talked horribly about you. Oh, wow. Yeah, and my mom was the one who introduced Nash to his affair partner. She was tired of you, so she filled Nash's head with thoughts against you and introduced him to new girls every week until he finally stuck with one. Do you know what this woman's name is? No, I did not want to know more than I already did. I'm only telling you all of this now because I handed in my 2-week notice and I'll be done with this job soon. I planned on revealing everything to you after, but you found out now, so I told you what I know. I'm so sorry for not telling you about it. And I'm even more sorry that you found out about it like this. You deserve better than this. I agree. It's okay, though. I understand why you couldn't tell me, but now that I know, I'm going to make Nash's life hell. If he asks me how I found out, do you want me to keep you out of it, or is it okay for me to tell him you helped me piece together everything? Oh, please tell him that I helped you out. He needs to be put in his place for threatening me too. You have no idea how much I hated him for putting me in that position. It killed me every day not to tell you. I'm sorry he treated you that way too. I'm going to set up another play date for Paisley with Rosie, and maybe tomorrow so she can meet this big sister. I'm sure that Nash is there instead of on his business trip. I'll go there and surprise them all. Do you want to join? Of course. I'll be over at your place tomorrow and we can go together. All right, I'll see you then. I was shaking with rage. I could not believe that Nash was cheating on me and was even more enraged that he had introduced Paisley to his affair partner. Cheating itself was disgusting, but to introduce your child to your affair partner as her big sister, no less, was diabolical. I wanted to rush over to Rosie's place then and there and chew Nash out, but I knew that I would be confronting him with no evidence, and he could easily deny anything I said. After the anger subsided, I was hit with a huge feeling of hurt and betrayal. I wasn't upset that Nia didn't tell me about the affair or hurt about it, but I was hurt that Nash would go so far as to threaten his own sister out of a job when she was financially struggling just to keep his affair a secret. I was even more hurt and disgusted that Rosie was the one who introduced Nash to his affair partner. That was not something a mother should ever do for her son. And here Rosie was, not only planting seeds of infidelity in Nash's head, but also enabling his cheating by letting him and his affair partner stay in her house. I knew that I had to have a good confrontation to make me feel better, so I called Rosie up and told her that I had some errands to run the next day and asked her if she could watch Paisley for a while. Rosie enthusiastically agreed, and it took everything in me to not reveal that I knew about her involvement in Nash's affair. That night, I barely slept, but I still woke up the next morning excited to confront Nash and embarrass him. Nia came over to my place an hour after Rosie picked Paisley up. When we got to Rosie's place, I saw Nash's car in the driveway along with another car that I didn't recognize. I knew instantly that it was his affair partner's car, so that meant that she was in the house. I also couldn't help but think about how stupid Nash was to leave his car out there in Rosie's driveway for all to see. What if I'd randomly come over one day? What would he have to say for himself? Anyway, when Rosie opened the door and saw me, her face paled. Tasha, what are you doing here? I forgot to give Paisley her snack, so I came over. I couldn't help but notice Nash's car in the driveway. Did he come back from his business trip? Yes, he just got back. Why did he come here? He usually comes home. Wait a minute, why am I asking you when I could just ask him? No, I told him that Paisley was here, so he came here first. Okay then, I still want to see him. I've missed him a lot. Excuse me. No, wait, Paisley, come with me. Oh, hi, honey. When did you get back? Oh, who's this? I'm Abby, Nash's girlfriend. Who are you? Girlfriend? I'm his wife. You mean ex-wife? Why are you greeting him like he's your husband? Because he is my husband. He told me he was away on a business trip, and it looks like he told you that we got a divorce. What? You're lying. Nash, is what she's saying true? Tasha, how did you know? So she really is your wife and not your ex? What do you have to say for yourself, Nash? I never thought you'd catch me. Well, I did. Why are you playing with both of us like this? Why are you surprised that he's cheating on you? You're a horrible wife and mother. You need to stay out of this. You meddled enough. You filled Nash's head with disgusting things, and now Paisley is going to grow up in a broken home. Don't you dare talk to my mother like that. Who even told you about me cheating on you? Oh my God, it was Nia. I'm going to ruin her life. Oh? And how exactly are you going to do that, Nash? What are you doing here? I wanted to see your downfall with my own 2 eyes. I warned you that this would happen and that you'd regret it. Are you forgetting that I can make you lose your job? Which, by the way, consider it gone. I don't care about that. I already quit. You quit your job just to tattle on me? Nia didn't tell me that you were cheating, but she gave me all the information I wanted when I asked her about whether you were having an affair. Paisley was the one who told me about her new big sister. That girl. You're beyond disgusting. How dare you introduce Paisley to your affair partner? She's going to suffer extra because you couldn't keep it in your pants. Will you just let me explain myself? What could you possibly say that will absolve you of this? My mom was not wrong about what she was saying. You did let go of yourself, and I'm still a handsome man. I deserve better. Wow. You can live your better life with Paisley and me out of your life. Do not expect me to make the divorce easy. Abby, he's all yours now. Technically, he did not lie when he told you he had an ex-wife, because he sure will have one now. Oh, and if you'd let me give you a word of advice, do not age. And definitely do not have his kids, because he will definitely abandon you for someone younger and better looking than you. I grabbed Paisley and walked out of that house with confidence and my head held high. I was not going to give any of the satisfaction of knowing that they'd hurt me. I was more worried about how Paisley was going to react to her mom and dad splitting up than about my relationship ending. Surprisingly, though, Paisley was understanding about the split up than I expected when I explained what was going to happen to Nash and me when we got back home. She told me that she always felt like something was wrong between her dad and her big sister, but she never knew what it was. It only made me angrier to think about how Nash involved my innocent daughter in his disgusting affair. But Paisley was super happy to be around her aunt again, so she promptly forgot about what I told her and wasn't too upset. The next day, I immediately filed for divorce. I armed myself with the best lawyer in our city because I knew that Nash was not going to make the divorce process easy. Of course, I also filed for primary custody of Paisley, and since I live in a state that favored mothers, I was not too worried about that. Nash tried to fight to get 50-50 custody of Paisley, but his affair partner, Abby, came forward and testified that she had been seeing Nash for a year. She submitted proof against him, and I won custody almost immediately. You see, Abby had no idea that Nash was a married man. He'd apparently told her that he was a single father and that his ex-wife was a monster who made sure she got full custody of his daughter. In a way, I made every lie he said come true, and it made me feel great. He said what he wanted, and he got it. The day after Abby broke up with him, Nash came to my house to yell at me for ruining his life. He told me that he had actually loved Abby and was planning to ask me if we could open up our marriage, as in we could see other people if we wanted, but we'd still be a couple. I laughed in his face when I heard this because I could not believe that he thought I would have been okay with him even bringing up the topic, let alone me agreeing with it. Nash yelled at me a bunch more, but I just called him pathetic and shut the door in his face. I also got a lot of calls from Rosie, and the first time she called, I picked up and she tried to chew me out for making her son sad. I told her that she was a horrible mother for enabling her son's disgusting behavior and for letting him involve Paisley in it before cutting the call. She spammed me with lots of nasty texts insulting my looks and personality, so I just blocked her. Nash and I divided all our assets equally at the time of the divorce, but I ended up selling my portion of the house to Nash so I could move out with Paisley. I didn't want to be around Nash for longer than necessary. He was granted custody of Paisley every weekend, so even though I never wanted Paisley to be around Nash for too long, I knew that it would be harmful for her to not spend time with her father. I decided to be a good co-parent, but that did not mean that I had to be nice to Nash outside of that. After Abby broke up with him and our divorce was finalized, Nash finally realized how alone he was. He stopped talking to Rosie because he had a massive falling out with her. He blamed her for ruining him and for losing his family and the other woman he loved. It amazes me how he still could not take responsibility for his actions, or how he did not hear how stupid he sounded. Nash also tried to ask me for forgiveness again and asked me if we could get better, and I finally told him that would never happen. Thankfully, Nash stopped trying after that. As for Nia, she and I did get closer again. She has never stopped apologizing for not telling me about the affair, even though I've told her countless times that I was never going to hold that against her. She's in a much better job that she loves now, and she does not have to worry about losing it because someone recommended her for the job. Paisley and I are slowly adjusting to our new lives, but we're happy. There are moments when I miss Nash and our family being together, but then I remember how lonely and sad Nash is, and I can't help but feel happier. It's been over a year since all of this happened, and now I'm in a much better place mentally. I can't imagine what more the future holds in store, but as long as Paisley is happy and safe, I think I'll be able to face anything that's thrown my way.